we just wanted to see whether we can reverse plastic making. So from petroleum hydrocarbons, we make plastic. Can we simply reverse it? Now, it is very easy to say it, but it wasn't easy. So I believe all stakeholders, it's not only the policy, but people, recycler, brands, local governments, everybody has to be part of. I usually get people, women coming to me and saying that when I started segregation of plastic waste in my household, everybody used to laugh at me. It took us, like 6 months until my husband, son, grandson joined in. And we have always been used to not throwing. We are not a throwaway society. We are becoming one. But if something breaks, we first thing do is, can I get it repaired? The whole, the process, which we called as thermocatalytic depolymerization, TCD, runs on mostly on the gas and the fuel that is generated in the process. We require a little bit of energy for the, some machines, but, mostly it's run on this.
Welcome, Medha. Thank you for being part of Vision Board. Actually, I have gone through your profile. I have seen many videos of your organization, and I wanted to have a conversation with you today. First thing I just wanted to know, I know about that wildlife sanctuary visit, and you have seen 2 dead deers, and that kind of intrigued you that what is it, and you kind of felt sad about it. So can you tell about that journey first, then I will come to your journey.
Hi, thanks Purna, and thanks for inviting me today morning. It's always nice to see a woman founder doing something, to change the society. And I think, but my journey actually started with the accidental. So I always call myself accidental environmentalist. Me and my co-founder Shirish, we had gone to one of the wildlife sanctuary. And as one goes, you take a lot of rides. And one day in the morning, they told us you can't go into particular area because a deer has been killed. So we thought it must be, the wild animal must have killed them. So after a few days, we inquired, so what happened to that deer? And they said that in a post-mortem, they found plastic inside. And we were like so appalled with it. And it was, the conversation used to go every time like, oh, how come people are like this? Somebody needs to do something about it. How come, nobody's doing it? People can't do this. And I think after a while, me and Shirish one day stopped and we said, aren't we exactly like everyone? Because everybody wants somebody else to do something. So at least let's find out what plastic is. And that's how our journey started. We started talking to people. Plastic hota kya hai? Or, how long it takes for a plastic to, disintegrate, finish it off from this earth. And that's when we realized plastic is a petroleum hydrocarbons, similar to our diesel and petrol. And it takes around 500 to 1,000 years for the plastic to disintegrate naturally. And nobody has seen it because plastic has been only discovered 116 years ago. So, whatever plastic has been created, most of it is still on this earth. I'll just give you a number. In the last 60 years, we have used 800 crores million tons of plastic. And out of that, only 9% has been recycled. More than 72% is still lying in our, rivers, landfills, or in oceans. So that's how actually we started. Can we do something about plastic? And actually our aha moment came when we saw a piece of ice melt. And it was like from water to ice, from ice to water, Can we do exactly same with, plastic? And that's how we started working on plastic, really.
Yeah, and what I remember from one of your conversation or maybe one of the videos, that when you experimented it with Sirish, in your kitchen, I think that's the first
Yeah.
place, right?
Yeah.
And the pressure cooker kind of burst. Can you tell
Yes.
us about that? What was the experiment all about and what you were actually doing?
So when we had an idea about, water, ice water,
Hmm.
we just wanted to see whether we can reverse plastic making. So from petroleum hydrocarbons, we make plastic. Can we simply reverse it? Now, it is very easy to say it, but it wasn't easy because, we had no idea. So we put it first in a pan, we burnt it, and, we got a lot of smell. And one day we had an idea of putting it in a pressure cooker. So we stuff, that pressure cooker with a lot of plastic, put a little bit of water in it, and because of lot of pressure, it just blew. So we thought it might be because pressure cooker was a small one.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's get a bigger pressure cooker. So, but the moment, it also blew. So we realized that let's not put a water in, let's take a whistle out. And it almost took us 6 months for us before, because we used to put like a tube where the whistle goes, and then it went into a water. Took us 6 months until we saw something like a black color liquid floating on that water. It smelled, different than the water. So we thought, let's get it tested from the lab. And that's when they told us, yes, these are, hydrocarbons. And that's how, we decided, let's build a machine. Again, no idea about how to build a machine because, we both come from a different educational background. And so we literally drew a bigger pressure cooker and built a first machine, and where we actually converted plastic waste into usable fuel, liquid fuel. And that's how our journey started. It was back in 2010, long time ago.
Exactly, exactly. And I want to shift a bit and I want to ask you that the reason why you kind of paid attention to this problem, maybe it is there all around, is because of this word called empathy, right? You
Yeah.
felt something that day.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think empathy is something which is more relatable to women?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of things are related to women, because now we collect waste plastic from various households. And I say it is 98%, 99%, I would say, are women who are taking charge and who are saying to the family, look, guys, I am doing this. When I usually get people, women coming to me and saying that when I started segregation of plastic waste in my household, everybody used to laugh at me. It took us, like a 6 months until my husband, son, grandson joined in. And now actually they are the ones, who bring plastic waste from outside. So if they have eaten chocolate or something, they'll come and put it in that bin. So I think a woman can, bring out that change. And I always believe that, I always say that if you look at the history as well, the empathy from the women, or that she wants to change the world, has actually affected the men around her, the family around her, and the society around.
That is so true. And I want to get a little deeper on this. Uh, how can women around us now, because we two are talking, so I can begin.
Yeah.
How can we make this plastic challenge, reach every house? How can we make people more aware of it? I'm sure people must be aware, but
Yeah.
what are the actions they can take, in their daily life,
Yeah.
to make this a real, and we can give some solutions to it. Can
Yeah.
you add
Yeah.
on this?
Yeah. See, I always believe that the change starts from all of us. So even if we change our habits, it percolates down to the society, because we can't change the world unless and until we change. So, plastic waste segregation is the most easy segregation of all, because, most of plastic that comes in our house is dry. So, 80-90% is dry. So putting it aside is very easy. So, if you have a packaging, biscuit wrappers, you have chips, anything comes in, you go to grocery shopping, everything is plastic, you can keep it aside. And, that is the only thing we can do. And, if you can segregate that and make sure that you give it for the recycling. Now, in each and every city, there are many NGOs working similar to us,
Right.
who will either collect or who will, ask you to drop it off somewhere. And I think we can definitely do that, because if we can save even a 1 kilogram of plastic waste, that is 6 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission saved. So, even because a lot of people come and say to me, okay, even if I don't do it, why should I do it? So my thing is, why can't I? I can start from myself, and then people can join in. I remember this couplets from Majru Sultanpuri, that मैं चला गया और लोग जुड़ते गए और कारवा बनता
Karwa ban raha hai.
yeah. So I always believe that even if we try something, and I, like you said, people are aware with the COVID, and other things are coming up. A lot of chat is happening about plastic. People are aware. Simply, they just don't know how to join in,
Yes.
because people want to do something. And that's how we have seen, like through our NGO, we create awareness and collect plastic waste from household. So number one, people say to me that I always wanted to do something, but I just didn't know how to do it or what to do it. So I think we need to have that, that chat more about how to do it. And, things will fall in place. Even though we have, invented the technology, I always believe that technology is not the solution if there is no awareness. So education, awareness is the major key for the successful waste management. So I think everybody can join in into just segregating at home. So keep aside your plastic waste, and just either call us, so we can connect you to the local NGO, or you can send us plastic waste from anywhere by courier. So
Yeah. I just want to ask one more thing regarding this, and then I'll get into the technical process of what you do. Tell me something. I always feel that when we're thinking of doing something, if there is a system is aligned to that, it helps us to change our behavior.
yeah.
I believe that if the policymakers kind of make it mandatory, at least in some things which are good for overall society, it can add value to the system as well. Do you believe in that? Do you think that institute, if we're making something a system, then it brings much the change in a much exponential way?
It's not only the system, it's all of us, because the policy can have where you can be fined, you can be given something, even jail, but it's us as well. So we are part of it. So I believe all stakeholders, it's not only the policy, but people, recycler, brands, local governments, everybody has to be part of it. I'll give a simple example.
Yeah.
Now, there is a 2014 government GR, there is a GR that plastic waste should be used in the roads. Now, not many people know about it. Not many governments know about it. So that knowledge is not there. So, and also, we don't demand it. That I want, if somebody is doing a bitumen road, that to make sure that there is a plastic in it. As a citizens, it's our right to also to ask questions. So I believe that it just, I think recently, government of India has ban a lot of single-use plastic. Saying that, we are still going out and buying those, because it's cheap, it's cost effective. So people are going to, because it's easier. Like plates, more easy. You don't need to wash something. You can eat from plastic plate and then just throw it somewhere, and you think, yeah, at least I don't have to worry about it. So I think all of us, it's not only the government has to do it, it has to be conveyed to the people, and we also have to abide by it. So it's a whole, I think the system has to work as well.
So, do you think that if we can change the storytelling of this entire thing, it will add, because I believe that human can work in cooperation in a much better way. That's why we are ruling the planet in a way. And the adding of storytelling, adding of making, rather than just saying don't throw, don't do this, don't do that, we don't like so many don'ts. Rather, if we create a narrative, if we create an engaging storytelling journey of what you are doing is actually impacting something, and you can change that, will that kind of behavior can change?
Actually, it is. It's not only my story or Shirish's story. There are so many things. Now, just take an example of plastic. The first thing everybody says is ban plastic. Plastic is bad. Is it really bad? Look at your glasses. Look at your mobile. Even this. It's all plastic. It's part of our life. It is brilliant product. It is in our cars, mobiles, medical devices. The retail revolution has come because of plastic, and because of that, so many millions of people have got jobs. Now, saying something is bad, it's much more easy than looking at it, how much we are using and our habits. So these are the two things are very important. So like you said, our narrative needs to change. So when we go and tell people, first thing we say, it's a brilliant product. Let's not, bash the product. So it is remembering that the moment it becomes waste, that's when the problem starts. And somewhere, I think, we Indians are brilliant recyclers. Look at our mothers. I remember my grandma. They used to give old clothes and get the pan or something, or my mother, that if I have a t-shirt, if she couldn't give it to somebody, it used to become a pocha, cleaning my bicycle or a two-wheeler. So we have always been used to not throwing. We are not a throwaway society. We are becoming one. But if something breaks, we first thing do is, can I get it repaired? That's our mentality. So only thing is, because plastic is so cost effective, it's cheap, it is versatile, we don't respect it. Because we see things as, it's patla hota hai, there is no weight, we just throw it without thinking. So we need to give it a respect. At the same time, we have to say that my waste is my responsibility. And for that, our narrative for the younger generation needs to change it. So we need to create a lot of stories, and there are so many stories around us. People are making, we make tiles out of it. People are making shirts, roads. So many things are happening. So instead of we saying plastic as a waste, we say plastic as a raw material, plastic waste as a raw material, narrative changes. So, yeah.
Now, as we are talking about narratives, we are talking about storytelling. I want to know the story behind your organization, what it is doing, how it is changing the world. I know it is in its own way. And but I want you to tell your story, from your point of view.
Oof, like I said, that when we decided, the first machine was built in 2010, and we were the first one in India to do that. So we were very proud. Wow, look at us. Uh, and yeah, we got, it came into a lot of paper, this, that. 2 years down, the 2 months down after that, somebody comes to us and says, can you smell the gas that is, around here? So yeah, we said, yeah, we are just letting this gas out in the environment, so it's not harming, the machine or anything. So the gentleman said, actually you are harming, because that gas is not good, and you're just letting out in the environment. Me and Shirish looked at each other. We said, hey, we can't do, doing something good, at least trying to do something good, and then something is, hampering the environment. Less scrap. And literally that same day, we locked that machine, and we said, okay, okay, we tried to do something, and okay, we failed. And literally, I tell you, next 6 months, we used to get a lot of calls, and it was like, who is going to avoid that call? Because we couldn't sell the machine. And we said, we will not sell it until we know that it is environment friendly. So I think it took us 7, 8 months to realize that, uh, let's at least find out what that gas is. So we again started the machine. We used to collect the gas in a balloon, get it tested. And in the test, it came as that this gas consists of various, again, various gases mixture. So it is methane, butane, thane. So similar to our LPG. So we put it to the generator, the tube lights came on. So we said, okay, so this is again energy source. Now, can we use the same energy source to heat the machine? And we decided to build a second machine where, we literally use this gas that is generated in the machine as a heating source. So the whole the process, which we called as thermocatalytic depolymerization, TCD, runs on mostly on the gas and the fuel that is generated in the process. We require a little bit of energy for the uh, some machines, but mostly it's run on this. It's very simple. We actually shred the plastic, because plastic is volumetric, so you can have a big bag and it will hardly weigh half a gram or half a kilo or something. So we shred, put it in our reactor, so similar to our pressure cooker.
Yeah.
We close it, and then we start heating. Now, we don't burn the plastic in this process, rather, we melt it. So, plastic usually melts from 160 to 180 degrees. Then this gas starts to come out, which is collected, cleaned, and stored. From 230 degrees, the gas is again used to heat the machine. From 300 degrees onwards, we start to get the liquid fuel out. And this is similar to looks similar to our diesel and petrol. So from 100 kilos, we get anywhere between 50 to 75 liters of this fuel. 22% is a gas. Around 5% is a char black color carbon. And process finishes by 410 to 420 degrees. And, then we restart again.
Such an interesting thing, when you were talking about this and entire technical process, the one word that was coming to mind is self-awareness and paying attention to what people are telling you. Somebody told you this is not good. Now you didn't try to evade that question. You kind of understood, you got deeper. Do you think self-awareness and listening to people around you, that has made you a better business person?
Yes. Also, along with that, admitting that, we don't know everything, and asking questions. I've seen a lot of time people are afraid to ask questions, and people are afraid to say, hey, I don't know. While me and Shirish, I think we are still in a stage where if we don't know, we'll say, hey, can you just explain? Because we don't know this. Can you tell us more? See, we now see our journey when we still get people from industry coming to us and saying, can you find a solution for our waste? And then we try to do find it, or do various experiments. And I think that has set us apart, simply because we are inquisitive. We are not afraid to say that we don't know. And I think we love to learn. So it could be, means if we don't know something, I have no shame in picking up a phone and asking even a 20-year-old, hey, how do you do this? Because I think that's why, I think human beings are born to learn. We want to evolve, and the only way we can evolve is understanding, asking questions, and learning. I think the only day I think I will stop learning is the day I die. And I hope somebody learns from that as well.
Yeah, I want to dig into that. I don't see many founders telling, I don't know, frankly speaking. We all want to show that we know everything. And if, and I want to dig into that. I am a big believer of what Socrates said, that the best thing is that I don't know. That's simple. I mean, that, opens up so many things to learn, and the other person who is kind of admiring you that you know everything, when that person is saying I don't know, then he's also, it's okay not to know. Can you dig little deeper? What is that philosophy, and how that helps us to become a better person? Because I feel understanding kind of alleviates people to come to you. They kind of कि इनके पास जा सकते हैं, पूछ सकते हैं इनको, ये हमेशा वो डंडा लेके नहीं बैठेंगे कि क्यों नहीं आता तुमको, go explore, and that kind of helps, and I see that कि आज के टाइम में वो आ गया कि fake it till people know it or whatever, and I feel that's a problem. It's better to just tell that I don't know. Teach me. So can you
I always tell my team, don't be afraid to fail, and it's okay to fail. So we always say that we are always behind you. Go and fail. We will not ask you why you have failed. We'll ask you what you learned. Because, again, why there should be a shame that say, I'm not supposed to know everything about medicine. I'm not supposed to know because my education is that. But, if I ask right questions to a right person, or even to a right questions to a wrong person, only then the dialogue opens. See, everybody of us has a story. Everybody of us has an experience. The person who is working, on our machines, operators. Now, I'm not there a whole day, every day, 24/7, but he's there. So I need to ask him that, Bhaiya, kal kya hua tha? What happened? Why do you think? Because he's there. He's 24/7 there. So he's the right person to say something rather than me coming and saying, oh, I know, I've invented this. It's because of that. And I think, we don't see, there are so many people around us who are brilliant. They may not have education, but they have experience. Or they may have education, no experience. But they bring, I'll give you an example of one of these things which always sticks in my mind. We had gone to, again, another wildlife sanctuary. And the first time we were seeing the tiger. Our driver, we were like talking to him. And we said, you've been working here for 16, 17 years. You must have seen, tigers so many times. It must be so routine for you. And he said, well, I've seen one tiger even, hundreds of times. But every time I meet that tiger, he's different. Because, his, the time of the day may be different. The season may be different. His mood is different. So it still gives me the pleasure and still gives me a goosebump after 17 years of working, in this. And I thought, wow, what a passion. Somebody there not taking something for granted and, feeling that, hey, this is, and that has stuck in my mind for so many years. And I think if somebody can look at that, like look at children that come in our house, or we have a children, we start looking at things differently.
100%.
So, why can't we have that, childlike quality in all
Curiosity.
of us,
Yeah.
and say, hey, I'm happy. So, just, hey, dads, I don't know, just ask. Hey, I don't know. And I think it's so simple. And I don't know why everybody can. I think after we become, kind of older, I think we don't want people around us to think that we don't know everything. I think we are past that. And I still say, hey, I don't know it. Now, I can come to you and say, guys, how did you, and why you started this? What was it? Because, something like that can teach me and make me a better person for tomorrow.
This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful because, you know, I mean, I feel that because it's such empowering to even say that I don't know. Teach me. It's such an empowering thing, I feel.
And people come, people are ready to teach you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they will be more interested कि अरे ये नहीं जानती और ये बोल भी रही है. It's such a beautiful thing, I guess, to learn more things. I want to ask you something. What is the culture of your organization? Because I feel after talking to you, I think you have created a very interesting culture of openness, learning, experiencing, failing. Nobody says that, oh, go out and fail. I mean, such a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah, but we have a very informal family-like organization where our doors are open, so anybody can just come in and ask us, or they can tell us that this is happening, or can we do this better, come up with our various ideas. So it's very open door policy. There is no such thing as we are boss, or you are, it's all, we work like family. So a lot of things happening, and we believe that we encourage people to learn. So we also encourage people to go out, uh, study as well, get not only work wise, but anybody who wants to go and learn, we support people as well. So somebody's I have a guy who has been with us for almost now 14-15 years. He came in as a chai maker, in the who gives a chai. Now he actually is one of our a person who does, he knows about the banking, he can do the tally, and a lot of things he has learned. And he is more like a junior executive than the person. He still makes lovely chais sometimes, but it's like that. Because he had that, he wanted to learn, he was ready to learn. So it was just, we just needed to provide him with opportunities, and not say that you are defined for the particular job. And that's what happens. People can move from one profile to another. Somebody can say, hey, I like, now I have an engineer, now he's more interested in sales, so he's moving into the sales. Now I have somebody who wants to learn about installations, so he's moving into that. So we believe that everybody should, it's more open. There are no like cross sections, and we also learning with along with the team. So that's nice as well.
Yeah, because there's a quote that specialization is for insects. Humans are supposed to explore everything. And then that kind of true holds.
A lot of people come to me asking about, what should I do learning? What do you like? Because everybody says, find out what you are passionate about. I am the other one. I will always say, at least find out what you hate.
Wow.
Because because see, we can always explore, I like this, I like that. We just don't know what you hate. And then you find people working in some area and saying, well, actually, I never liked this, but now I'm earning so much. I'm afraid to leave this and, follow my passion. I meet a lot of doctors saying, oh, I always wanted to be something else. And now I feel that, you should find what you don't like to do. My mother told me that, I always wanted to be a medical doctor because my family, everybody was in medicine. And I was doing my 12th, actually got scored very good marks. So getting into medicine was much more easy. My mom sat me down and she said, look, you like to do so many other things. You love to write. I was dancing, I learned the dance as well. She said, you will, if you go for medicine, you will be a very good doctor out of lakhs of doctors. You can be at the top of profession, but then you will lose out on a lot of things in life. Don't be a doctor. Do anything but medicine. Try to explore. Try to see what you enjoy. And then I took her, advice, and I think that was the best advice my mom gave me. And my career changed, my outlook changed, the way I what I love to do, what I don't like to do. When just because I hated my job in England, I had a job, I was living a sort of a good life. One day I said, hey mom, dad, I'm just leaving this, I'm moving back to India because I hate what I'm doing every day, and I don't want to live my life just because it's providing me with lot of creature comforts. Let me go back. So that's how, I think that's how it started, the journey, you can say.
That kind of resonated with me so well because I have a list what I don't want to do. And that is the reason I have started my organization. I didn't have any backup. I didn't job nahi karna. And the first list I always make is what I'm not going to do in my life. Because what you want to do is a huge field. क्या चीज नहीं करना वो तुम्हें पता हो, then you know कि भाई करना है.
Yeah, see, I also have something like that. That the moment, I've told Shirish as well that if I feel like a month of getting up and thinking, not feeling excited to come to work, I'm going to hang my boots and find something else to do. Because then, it's not fair on you, fair on organization or people you work with. It's not fair because you are lying to yourself. And we all have only one life here. Enjoy, and let's not have a regrets. I always look at 85-year-old of me thinking, I should have done that. I should have done this. Nah. You can fail. You can ask question. You can fail. You can take a knockback, but at least then your conscience is clear. You're not thinking. I think at age of 85, I would be thinking, come on, what can I do tomorrow, or today?
I'm smiling all the way listening to this because these are all resonating because, we have limited time and we have to know what we have to do with that time. It's not about how much money we have in the banks, but it is about the time and where we should put in.
See, because you work hard, money comes.
Yeah. Money is the byproduct. That we have to understand. Money should not be the motivator. It will always come if you follow your thing and if you're passionate about it and all those things. Medha, while running this organization, what are the value system that you follow every day as a person? When you wake up, because you are a plastic warrior, you are doing a different kind of business. It is just not about profitability. It is also about purpose. So what makes you wake up every day, go out and make difference? What is the key value system that are non-negotiable for you? That this I'm not going to do.
Couple of things really. One is, that today, I won't say impact, but can I, at least take my message to one more person and, add that person as a plastic warrior, as that one thing of that. And second thing is transparency. I always tell people that, you are giving me plastic. And there are people who have been giving us a plastic waste for more than 7, 8. We have been doing this for 9.5 years now. Always tell them, like, look, you giving me your plastic, okay? But it does not mean your job is done. Your job is asking me and making sure that I do my job. So, we want people, we encourage people, students to come and see our facility. We, if when we go to the various villages to, give this fuel to be used instead of a kerosene, we ask people to come with us. So they see what their waste is making an impact and whether I am doing my job or not. Because, it keeps me on my toes, that transparency. Right. Because I let people ask me questions. I let people come and see what is happening. I ask people to come and see if we are making a road in the city, that it is happening in your area. Please come and see. Because when you're walking afterwards on the same road, it's your waste is gone in that. So I think that transparency is, again, and also, that culture of, people can be part of it. Yeah. It's not that people can, you've given me your plastic, now that's it. It's a social enterprise. So we want that them to be actively involved. So I always think that this is not, my movement. This is our movement. So the onus is on all of us. Yeah. So, that is why you will see after even 9.5 years, the vehicles that we have don't have any, brand name, don't have, my company name, don't have nothing on it. Because people should understand that this is not happening for the branding or, so we can get ahead in social media. We are really useless in social media. We don't post everything all the time. But instead, when I go for an awareness and somebody comes and tells me, oh, I give it to somebody and it's a red van that comes, every week to my society. And I say, oh, that red van is ours. That gives me a more pleasure. So I think, people understand that as well. And that is non-negotiable. That, I always think that just somebody giving me a plastic does not mean their job is done. It means that we are in this journey together. And, I can scold them if they give me a dirty plastic. And they can ask me questions and they can part of this journey together.
This is, in this chaotic world of social media where we all are putting our banners, see us, you are actually doing the opposite.
That's what I said. We are useless. When we do so many things, I go to a lot of, awareness programs and this and that. I come out and think, forgot to take the picture. Because I think I need to learn, but I think, again, that's somebody needs to teach me that.
But Medha, we still know you. That's the thing. Kahin se kuch aa hi jata. You're doing such wonderful job. We're almost in the end of this interview. I always ask every guest of mine, who is your hero? What inspires you? Who inspires you? And knowing that you have done so much work, I'm 100% sure that every morning something is there in your mind which kind of keeps you going, because it's a difficult journey. I know that. Who is your hero?
I wouldn't say it's a difficult journey. It's a challenging journey. Yeah. People ask me, looking back at your life, what are the hardships? I think every one of us goes through hardship. Not having money, this. So I think every entrepreneur goes through this. So it's not like, we had to go through anything different. If you think about, if I have to think about a hero, I think my mother and my grandma. They were so independent. Like yesterday, I was talking to my uncle, mama, about my grandma. And, we were saying that, something about happening about how was she? And she was widowed at a very young age and she raised all her kids, my three girls and a boy. And she was so independent and so fierce that she brought me up. Even my mom brought me up not as, uh, a girl should do this or a boy should do that, but as an individual, saying, hey, you can do everything in life. There is no such thing as you can't do. And I think me and my brother is elder than me, but I think I got more freedom than him to do a lot of things. But they also taught me to do, ye lana hai, go to the, this shop, that. So I think that independence is what they, that's how I grew up, seeing, very strong women around me. And they never said, that this can't be done, or, you are woman, so you are this, that, or other. I was always taught you are, not even the equal. You are the best, and you are, you are going to fail. It's okay to fail, but you need to get up and try again. You do not leave anything halfway through. So, it can take a time, but you can't just leave halfway through. And, you have so many around people, who inspire you every day. So I don't have like a, like a big human, people or heroes uh, who I think of as a man, but everybody teaches us, around us. But I think my mother and my grandma were, I think, way ahead of their time. Uh, my mom started, my dad started a hospital in a village in 60s and 70s. And my mom used to do, she used to drive a Jeep, short, bob cut, sleeveless in a small village. So she was very independent in that. And I think that both of them have installed in me. So I never think of it as, a lot of people think, as a woman, how can, I think I'm not doing this as a woman. This is, I'm doing as an individual,
Yeah.
as a human being. And I think, I think that has served me quite well up till now.
So what I can learn from you is wake up, show up, and
Yeah.
learn. Keep on experiencing the good things in life.
Yeah.
Thank you, Medha. Thank you for your time, and thank you for giving so many nuggets to, which I will go back to, because most of the things you have told me kind of resonated, and I will think about it today. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.